Warm welcome to all my dear students of BTech first year mechanical and EC students. I am Dr. Durga Prasad, a professor of mechanical engineering, engineering and technology program, Gayatri Vidya Parishad College for degree and PG courses. Now I am going to deliver a lecture on technology transfer and development, which is the unit 5 of the course Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge. In this lecture, I would like to cover the topics Introduction to Technology Transfer, Types of Technology Transfer, Methods and Mechanisms of Technology Transfer, Technology Transfer Process, Criteria and Selection of an Appropriate Technology, and finally, Barriers of Technological Change. As you all know, the entire world is suffering from the present coronavirus pandemic disease. Almost all the countries are trying to face the present technological challenges to come out of this COVID-19 pandemic movement. In this context, I feel that giving this lecture is an opportunity for me to share my views on technology transfer and development with you all. You might have heard the words scientific discovery, invention, innovation, and technology. So these four words, once again, scientific discovery, invention, innovation, and technology. People may confuse the distinction among these words. With a simple example, I tell you the difference among these words. In fact, scientific discovery is a product of successful scientific inquiry. Invention is a unique or novel device, method, composition, or a process. As far as innovation is concerned, in its modern meaning is a new idea, creative thoughts, and new imaginations in the form of device or method. To understand the difference between scientific discovery, invention, innovation, let us see an example. You all know atom. The atom is the scientific discovery. A machine developed to split the atom is come under invention. But splitting of that atom for a purpose is an innovation. Now, let us see what is technology. It is very simple. The technology is the useful application of this knowledge and expertise into an operation to meet the requirements of the people in the society. In this example, atom is the scientific discovery. Atom is the scientific discovery. Machine to split atom is the invention. And splitting the atom for a purpose is an innovation. With this knowledge and expertise, establishing a nuclear power plant is come under technology. In fact, technology has no single definition. There are a number of definitions depending upon the circumstances. Now, let me quote some of the major definitions here. Technology is defined as the theoretical and practical knowledge, skills, and artifacts that can be used to develop products as well as their production and delivery system. In another way, the technology can be defined as the practical implementation of learning and knowledge by individuals and organizations to aid human endeavor. Of course, in simple words, technology may be defined as it is a useful application of knowledge and expertise into an operation for a purpose. Now I am trying to explain what is technology. Here, please look the slide. Here you can observe a personal protection equipment. So you all know about it, PPE. So this is the knowledge and expertise. So it is used to provide a protective gear for doctors and health workers. It's a operation for its use and purpose. So this is the technology. In fact, it is the healthcare technology, which is useful for to come out of from the present pandemic movement. Now let us see technology transfer. See here, technology transfer is the movement of technology by means of some communication channel from one individual or organization to another. Here we can observe there is a word transfer. So what is that? That is used because a technology needs to be transferred from one entity to another entity. An entity means here from government research lab to corporation, or from university to startup company, etc. Here one entity to another entity, so to meet a certain objectives. So let us see what are the main objectives of technology transfer. Here there are four major objectives for technology transfer. One is to make technologies and product available for use by everyone. So it means that everyone has to utilize available technology. So make use of the technology that has to be available for everyone. There's another objective to share the scientific findings among the organizations for further enhancement. As further improvement purpose, it has to be transferred. It has to be shared, the scientific findings among the organizations. The third one is the to commercialization purpose. So all the scientific findings must be commercialized. So in order to achieve commercialization for scientific findings, there must be a technology transfer. Finally, to make economic development of an organization, the technology transfer role is very, very crucial. So in order to meet all these objectives, so the technology has to be transferred from one entity to another entity. Now I am trying to explain technology transfer through an example. Everyone knows about Wi-Fi technology which you are using. Now I am telling Li-Fi technology. It's a new technology. Li-Fi technology is a wireless communication technology which utilizes light to transmit data and position between devices. The Li-Fi is a light communication system that is capable of transmitting data at high speeds, even over the visible light, ultraviolet and infrared spectrums. In fact, Li-Fi technology is considered safer and greener as compared to the existing modes of Wi-Fi communication, telecom tower-based communication or LAN. Why I am saying all these things? No Wi-Fi or mobile phones are allowed near COVID-19 patients. In this scenario, it is almost impossible for making remote monitoring of the patients. In India, NAV Wireless Technologies Private Limited developed Li-Fi technology-based communication device for supporting hospitals in handling coronavirus patients. In fact, it is the first device in the entire globe for handling COVID-19 patients. In the slide, you can observe the device. This device keeps monitoring key parameters of ventilators and other medical instruments at regular intervals, because of which they get exposed to patients frequently. Apart from data information, the device will also provide communication support for patients to remotely connect with their relatives as well as for nurses with doctors. Here, no need of visiting the patients so frequently with the support of this device, and thereby it minimizes the risk of spread of the virus to doctors and nurses. Now, the government of India initially permitted to install the devices to cover 1200 beds in Ahmedabad exclusively for COVID-19 cases. With this example, we can understand the transfer of technology from one organization to Government of India for the purpose of treating the COVID-19 patients without spreading the virus to the doctors and healthcare workers. Now, let us see the different types of technology transfer. There are varieties of technology transfer. So, named it as horizontal technology transfer, vertical technology transfer, international technology transfer, regional technology transfer, and so on. First, let us see what is horizontal technology transfer. It refers to the transfer and use of technology used in one place or organization to another place or an organization. So the best example for this horizontal technology transfer is a reverse engineering. Now come to vertical technology transfer. So it is a technology transfer commencing from basic research to applied research, from applied research to development, followed by development to production. So as far as the vertical technology transfer, the nanotechnology is the best example come under this vertical technology transfer. International technology transfer. So here we can understand there is a transfer of technology across the national boundaries. You see, it refers to the transfer of technology across the national boundaries, so from industrialized countries to developing countries. Regional technology transfer, so it means the transfer of technology from one region to the another region within the country. So it means from one state to another state in India, like that. Now come to cross industry technology transfer. It refers to the transfer of technology from one industrial sector to another. The technologies transfer from the space program into commercial applications is an example for this cross-industry technology transfer. Interfirm technology transfer. So it is the transfer of technology from one firm to another. Here is the best example. We can see the transfer of CAD expertise and CAM machines from a machine tool manufacturing firm to furniture producing firm. Just as an example for inter-firm technology transfer. The another one is intra-firm technology transfer. So it is a technology that is transferred within a firm from one location to another location. Here location means for a company, the Mumbai division to the Hyderabad division, the technology transfer. So these are the different types of technology transfer commonly employed. Now let us see the different methods of technology transfer. There are a number of methods for technology transfer. Let me list out the methods: licensing method, support contract method, joint venture method, franchising, strategic alliance, turnkey agreement. Next one is the equipment acquisition method, management contract method, foreign company acquisition method, direct foreign investments, buyback contract method, and original equipment manufacturer method. Now I am trying to explain one by one. First of all, licensing method. It is an agreement particularly under which the owner of a patent, trademark or other intellectual property gives permission to another company to use the technology developed by the person in a certain area during a certain period of time. So there is an advantage for this licensing method. The advantage of buying a license or patent is that it has lower cost compared with other technology transfer methods. Next, support contract method. In this method, the technology owner participates in the technology implementation, providing technical support at each stage of the transfer and giving personal training also. This method, the support contract method, ensures a closer cooperation between two parties which favors a complete transfer of all knowledge and skills related to the technology. Next, come to the another method, that is joint venture method. It is an agreement. It is also an agreement that is concluded between two or more companies with a view to execute a particular business. This method, this joint ventures method, leads to a long-term cooperation between the parties involved. The motivation of all the participants in the successful transfer, lower cost than if the other companies have been working separately. Franchising, it is an agreement where one company grants to another the rights to use its trademark and business model. So with this franchised product, the company acquires a proven business model, knowledge and management, and marketing. Strategic alliance is another method of technology transfer. It is also an agreement usually concluded between two or more big companies in order to use specific skills of each of them in the development of new innovative technologies. In fact, there may be a complexity in managing the companies with different cultures that is taking place in the strategic alliance. The another method of technology transfer, that is a turnkey agreement. In this method, the general contractor is responsible for all the procedures related to technology transfer. The advantage of this method is that the company concludes a contract only with one supplier who takes full responsibility for the project execution. Equipment acquisition method is another method of technology transfer. Of course, it is a very simple method and it is the most common method of technology transfer. But there are certain disadvantages. The main disadvantage of this method is the fact that the company limits itself to mere technical knowledge incorporated in the equipment and does not get any new competencies in the management and production. No unique privilege to the buyer, as this equipment may be purchased by any other competitor. This is their drawback. The management contract method. In this method, technology can be transferred through a competent expert who could be enticed from another company. So this method involves a minimum cost, but generally it can be effective only for small projects with relatively simple technology. The another important method of technology transfer, that is a foreign company acquisition method. So in this method, a company may acquire a foreign startup which is developing a new technology. Among the main risks of buying an existing firm is the possible resignation of key employees after the acquisition. This may be possible. The another thing is the direct foreign investments. It is one of the main methods of technology transfer at the state level. Generally, a foreign company invests in developing countries in order to create a new market, remove export barriers and get an access to cheap labor. To attract foreign investors, the developing country's government generally has to make some concessions in its policy. As we can see in practice, without these concessions, large international corporations are not motivated in long-term investments in developing countries. So these are the major methods for technology transfer. Now let us see what are the mechanisms available for technology transfer. So what are the mechanisms that are needed for technology transfer? So technology in the form of knowledge can be transferred through a certain mechanisms that are in the form of knowledge. So we can able to transfer technology through imprint, through technical journals, scientific magazines, patents, orally at conferences, orally at professional bodies and societies, in discussions with colleagues and discussions among the consultants. So all come under this mechanism of transfer. Next, the technology in the form of skills can also be transferred to another mechanism, that come under watching someone doing something and watching a video of someone doing something, the demonstrations at courses and hands-on trainings, etc. come under this mechanism of technology transfer in the form of skills. The another mechanism for technology transfer is in the form of equipment that can be transferred. So in that come under the products, trade magazines, trade conventions and exhibitions, so sales representatives, advertisement, all these through the technology can be transferred in the form of equipment. Now I'm trying to explain the technology transfer process. It is very interesting. The technology transfer process consists of 4 stages. The first stage is the prospecting stage. In the prospecting stage, there are different activities that are involved. The research activities, analytical thinking activities, and decision making to screen the concept of technologies. So all the activities that are involved in this prospecting stage with the purpose of selecting a proper technology. So what I mean to say, the outcome of this particular first stage of technology transfer process is the selection of concept or technology to meet the user's needs. After selecting a proper technology, there is a development is needed, so that is to be carried in the developing stage. The second stage of technology transfer process is the developing stage of technology transfer process. In this stage, there are focus group discussions, laboratory testing activities and R&D activities. All are carried for the purpose of enhancing elaborating and tailoring the selected technologies that are already already developed in the stage 1 to meet the user's requirements. Now come to third stage of technology transfer process, that is the trial stage. So in this stage, particularly the total activity is confined to field testing of the developed technologies in the stage 2. So the testing has been carried in this particular phase. So the outcome of this stage is the appropriate check and confirmation of the technology to meet the user's needs. After trial stage is over, the fourth stage, the final stage of technology transfer process is the adoption stage of technology transfer. So in this, there are certain activities are carried, that is the final development of technology, that means the finalize the technology, and then technology modifications, any modification that has to be incorporated at this stage, and user implementation that is also carried in this particular stage, the final stage. So the outcome is that is the successful transfer of technology to the users. Now let us see what are the different channels of technology transfer. So there are basically 3 channels of technology transfer. The channel 1 will usually call it as general channels. The technology transfer takes place unintentionally and may proceed without the continued involvement of the source. So this channel of transfer includes education, training, publications, conferences, study visits, etc. So all these channels, there is no involvement of the source. Now come to the channel 2, that is reverse engineering. We'll call it as the channel 2 as reverse engineering. So it is the fastest route for duplication of existing technology without going through formal technology transfer process. So it is a powerful channel for technology development adopted by many agencies. Now another channel of technology transfer, that is the formal channels. So it is a planned channel. Formal channel means it is a planned channel in which technology transfer is done intentionally in accordance with the consent of the owner of the technology. Several types of agreements that are involved in this channel. So various channels of this type are licensing, franchise, joint venture, FDI, technical consortium on joint R&D projects, etc. Now let us look what are the facilitators available for technology transfer in India. There are different facilitators available in India for technology transfer. The one is the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, that is CSIR. It was established by the Government of India in 1942 and its headquarters are located at New Delhi. It is a well-established organization for technology transfer, intellectual property and licensing activities. CSIR developed first India's synthetic drug methaqualone in 1950. So the CSIR developed first Indian tractor Swaraj in the year 1967. CSIR and IMD jointly producing a visibility measuring system that provides information to pilots on visibility for safe landing and takeoff operations at airports. CSIR and TCS developed a versatile portable PC-based software BioSuite for bioinformatics. The another facilitator for technology transfer in India, that is the Technology Development Board. It was established by Government of India under Technology Development Board Act 1995 to promote development and commercialization of indigenous technology and adoption of imported technology for much wider application. The another important facilitator, that is National Research Development Corporation, NRDC. So it was established by Government of India in 1953 and its headquarters located at New Delhi. It is currently working under the Development of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, Ministry of Science and Technology, with the objective to develop, promote and transfer of technologies emanating from various national R&D institutions. During the past 5 decades of its operation, the NRDC has forged strong links with various R&D organizations in the country as well as from abroad. The NRDC is now recognized as a large repository of a wide range of technologies spread over almost all areas of industries. Typically, NRDC would patent the product for commercial exploitation and earn royalties as private sector companies generated sales from those products. So examples of such products include carbon fiber, asbestos, plastic composites, and developments in semiconductor technology. The another important facilitator for technology transfer in India, that is DSIR, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research. It is a part of Ministry of Science and Technology, which was established in the year 1985. The DSIR has a mandate to carry out certain activities, the promotion of indigenous technologies, technology development, technology utilization, technology transfer, oversees the activities of CSIR. It acts as a nodal department for granting recognition to in-house R&D units in industry, scientific and industrial research organizations, and registration to public funded research institutions, universities, IITs, IIScs, and NITs. One more important facilitator for technology transfer is the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. DRDO is the R&D wing of Ministry of Defense, Government of India, which was formed in 1958. DRDO is the premier R&D organization which works on various areas of military technology to qualitatively address the needs of Indian defense system. In fact, DRDO is developing a number of technologies which are not only useful for military applications but also have large commercial potential technologies. These technologies need to be identified, customized, and transferred to industries to enable them to exploit its uses in different applications. DRDO is followed industry's innovation and commercialization of technology model for technology commercialization through FICC, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Another important topic is the appropriate technology. Appropriate technology means it is a technology that is deemed to be appropriate when it is compatible with the local and cultural and economic conditions. In fact, in the recent years, the concept of appropriate technology has gained currency in both developing and developed countries. As far as the definition is concerned, appropriate technology is defined as any object, process, idea, or practice that enhances human fulfillment through satisfaction of human needs. Appropriate technology should be self-sustaining. It causes little cultural disruption and should ensure the relevance of technology to the welfare of the local population. Most of the groups working in the developing countries tend to view appropriate technology as the main tool in meeting the basic needs of hundreds of millions of people. Selecting an appropriate technology, certain factors must be considered. Some of the important factors are social factors, cultural factors, economic and environmental factors, and political factors. As far as social factors are concerned, it is required to observe the distribution of population in the particular area, health issues and literacy rate, welfare and equity issues, which are all taking place in the particular area. So these factors are considered while selecting an appropriate technology. As far as cultural factors are concerned, the attitude of the people, habits they are following, and what are the religious issues and ethics and values, etc. These are all come under cultural factors while selecting an appropriate technology. In the same way, as far as economic and environmental factors are concerned, while choosing an appropriate technology, it is to be observed the availability of the land suitable to the technology, the cheap human resources, or trained persons, etc. And it is necessary to observe the ability and willingness to pay the technology and financial policies, etc. So these are to be considered while selecting an appropriate technology. So in addition to that, the climatic conditions, rainfall, soil conditions, sustainability, etc. These are all factors to be considered while selecting an appropriate technology as far as the environmental aspects point of view. Finally, the political factors also have more influence on this selection of appropriate technology. The stability of the government is one important factor. At the same time, what type of liberalization policies the government is going to adopt, and what is the liability for the protecting the public interest, the government initiation, how much extent of initiation to instill good economic environment. All these factors must be considered while selecting an appropriate technology. Finally, let us see what are the barriers that are there for a technological change. Whenever there is a technological changing process, there are certain barriers. So sometimes there may be lack of vision in the people and the government. Sometimes there may be a lack of leadership. A proper leadership may not be available for a technological change. So as far as barrier is, one of the biggest barrier is the awareness, lack of awareness on the part of benefits arrived from the technology, and lack of skilled human resources also one of the barrier for adopting a new technology. There may be a fear of data security on implementing the technological change and the reliability of new technology, and all come under these barriers for this technological change. Sometimes the new technology may not provide the ergonomic aspects in the particular technology. So this is one of the reasons for the failure to adopt a new technological change. So lack of attention on environmental aspects also one of the barriers. Unable to afford new technology for implementing the new technological changes. So these are all the barriers. Some of the barriers I mentioned here. Here I am trying to explain the technology transfer and development, so which may not be an exhaustive information, which is helpful to for you understanding the concept of technology transfer development in your course Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge. Thank you, my dear students. Thanks one and all.